Good afternoon, you football bettors. Today is Friday, October 1st, the first day of October. This is Raphael Esparza from DocSports.com with another episode of Ask a Bookie. It's the Friday weekend show. We'll talk about NFL. We'll talk college football. If you want to chime in on some UFC, breaking news on UFC, Aspen Ladd and Macy Cherson fight has been scrapped for UFC Vegas 38 as Aspen Ladd was way overweight today, weighed in, I think 141 pounds. I think it was like 4 pounds overweight. I don't know why she keeps on trying to scroll. She looked really bad at the weigh-in, shaking and all that. So I don't know why she's having issues making weight. I think her last 3 or 4 fights. So a little bit shocked on that one. But yeah, that fight has been scrapped for Saturday's UFC Vegas 38 card. But we'll talk about everything and anything you want to talk about in the weekend. Baseball playoffs start next week. Probably playing games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Who knows how many of these games we'll see in playing games with in the American League wildcard games. So I would feel shocked if we don't see a playing game when it comes to these baseball playoffs. But I'm excited to watch baseball playoffs this week. But again, it's Raphael Esparza over at Doc Sports YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to Doc Sports YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs down if you like all this stuff. We have some great content. Robert Faringo is doing some great content. Of course, Vernon Croy, Indian Cowboy, Scott Spricer, Tony George. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Doug Upstone. Don't forget to check all their videos out as they do fantastic work over at the Doc Sports channel. Again, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs down if you don't like me or like us. And always feel free to comment on any of our stuff. I always, me, I always love chiming in on talking about that. But thanks for joining me. It's Raphael Esparza from DocSports.com giving you another episode of Ask a Bookie, the weekend show. Sandy, what's going on? I don't trust your I guess that's my free play, not my field play today. I feel pretty good today, but I kind of like Utah State. I mean, I think the number is just, if you watch the video, I'm hoping for 10. I have no action on it right now. I'm playing the number. It is starting to come down. I've seen 2 offshore sites have Pinnacle. I'm not supposed to name offshore sites. Apologize. That was my mistake. But a couple global books have been dropping it. So it's 8.5 in some. So probably not going to have any action. I was just playing a number. Like I said, if you did watch my free play, it says I was trying to get the best number for Utah State. But it looks like Utah State money is coming in because now BYU has been dropping. There's some 9s out there now. So I would say if you can get 9.5, I would say take it now because I don't think we're going to get that 10. But if you don't like it, don't play it. Plain and simple. It's never going to be, I'm never going to sweat over it. Like I said, half of the people who do free plays, and I'm not saying on Doc sites, but I'm talking all the other sites, I can guarantee you they don't have any action on those sites. They just do these free plays. Videos to get traction on their page and their sites and stuff like that. I try to get as much action as down as possible on my free plays if I like them. Like I said, if you watch the video today, I said that if you can get the best number, 9.5 or 10, take Utah State. Right now, there's some 9s out there and 8.5. So I wouldn't take Utah State at 9 or 8.5. That's just me. That's how I gamble. So no sweat, Sandeep. Hopefully you have a great weekend. Hopefully you cash big. Utah on the road, right? No, Utah State's at home. BYU's on the road in this one. But Utah State in Logan, Utah. Have you ever been to Logan, Utah? It's very weird there. Trying to find alcohol in Logan, Utah is like trying to find a 4-leaf clover in the desert. So it's not fun, but it should be an entertaining game. I mean, the Aggies are 3-1 against the spread on this one. BYU, I think they split their first 4 games against the spread. I'm not 100%. I don't have it in front of me. Let me click on there. BYU has had success in these meetings, but I mean, let's face it, BYU's first road game pretty much since I think beginning of the season when they were at Arizona. I mean, they played 3 straight home games. South Florida, Arizona State. I can't think of the other one, but so this is another true road game for them. So like I said, if you can get 10 or 9.5, I would say get that. But if it's 9 or 8.5 right now, I wouldn't play it. That's just me. Sandeep, maybe I'll put 100 on them. Well, just make sure you get the best number, Sandeep. Again, if your book is only showing 9 or 8.5, I wouldn't take it. So I don't want you to bet it just because my free play said it. Again, I don't look at the names on the jerseys, front or back. I am betting the number that is provided for us when I do my sports gambling. I could care less if it says Utah State on the front and Tom Brady's name's on the back. If the number's not right, I'm not betting it. Plain and simple. So if you can get the best number that's out there, Sandeep, I say get it. If not, don't put. I said I would probably pass on it if it was only 8.5 that your book was getting. So again, I bet the number that the sports books are providing me, not just because the name on the jersey says Brady or the name on the jersey says New England or Green Bay or whatever it is. I am betting the number that sports books are providing me for the best value as possible. But thanks for joining on in, Sandeep. Thanks for watching. You've always been cool to me on social media and here on the show. I get my mad respect for you. So hopefully, again, you have a rock star weekend, Sandeep. Keep the questions coming in. But it's a great Friday football. We'll start with Friday college football. Last week, we had so many questions on college football. We didn't even get into the NFL, so I'll try to get as much as possible in this half-hour show of Ask a Bookie. But Houston-Tulsa is the first game that goes tonight, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It should be a great game. I was leaning towards taking Houston, but I was hoping to get like 4 or more. The number came out like I thought it would be 3.5. There's no value on that one, so I didn't play anything. I didn't look at it, so I put a big X on it. Iowa, Maryland. I'm waiting to see how high this total goes. I am completely shocked. This total opened up at 46. Now it's 47.5. I think there's really good value on the under in this one. If this one goes to 48, I'll probably put a little coin on the under on this one at Iowa and Maryland. I'm a little bit shocked at how high this total was. This one screams dead under for a Big Ten battle, especially on a Friday night game. I'm a little bit shocked. You figure if Iowa wants to win this game, they need to keep a low total. I mean, they let Colorado State only score 14. Kent only scored, I think, a touchdown against them. Iowa State had trouble putting points on the board with them. So I would say this game looks like a dead. And I know Maryland could put some big points on, but Maryland had trouble scoring against Illinois. So I'm not sold on this Maryland offense. And people are going to say, oh, yeah, but they put up 62 points to Howard. I mean, that's Howard. So I'm not going to put some credibility on that one. So I'm looking to see if the number continues. It was an 8 o'clock game, Eastern Standard Clock. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock game. If I can get 48, I might take a stab on this under on Iowa, Maryland. We already talked about BYU and Utah State, so we don't need to chime on that one. But before I'm going to go over some of these NFL games, because last Friday we didn't talk about much about NFL because all of you guys had some fantastic questions about sports gambling and college football last week. So I definitely want to talk about some NFL games. There are some really good NFL games. Let's face it, the big marquee matchup in the NFL is Tom Brady, Tampa Tom going to New England. We all know there's about 95% of the money that's coming in on this game is Tampa Bay. It's been all over the place. My contacts have told me the same. Most of the money is chiming on and all on Tampa Tom. Number 7, would not be shocked if this number goes up to 7.5 just because of the amount of money that is coming in. So I have no opinion on this. I think Tampa Bay wins, but wow, if this goes to 7.5 or even think about 8, that'd be hard for me to pass on Bill Belichick taking more than a touchdown at home against a big quarterback rival this game. And I know New England looked really bad against the Saints defense last week. That's probably why I probably won't have any action on this game. But it's going to be very interesting on that one. Washington, Atlanta, the first game on the board in the NFL. I really don't like the game. If I had to play it, I would maybe take a look at Washington. I think this is the better team. I think Atlanta could be one of the worst teams in the NFL when all said and done. Detroit, Chicago, no opinion on that one. Chicago's offense is horrendously bad. I want nothing to do with the Chicago Bears offense. Thank God they might be moving to Arlington because the city of Chicago might help them pack their bags the way they've been playing some offense on that team. Tennessee Jets, no opinion on that one. Really excited to watch the Indianapolis Miami game. I think this Colts team steals a road game. I think Carolina Dallas is a very interesting game. This number has been moving all over the place. Opened up at 5, got bet all the way down to 4, then got moved back up to 4.5. And that one has what, 3? Yeah, it has about 4.5. So Carolina Dallas. If you like Dallas, try to get that 4. If you like Carolina, try to get that 4.5. So there's really, really good ways to try to make some money on that game. So like I said, there's some really good games in NFL. Baltimore, Denver. I know the public is on Baltimore on this one, but some Denver money is coming in. I think Denver stays perfect in this one. I think Teddy Two Gloves has been playing the teams and winning against teams that's in front of them. I know they played a really weak schedule, but I think they stay perfect. I think they beat Baltimore on this game, and it's all about Denver's defense. Their defense has been rock solid all for the first 3 games, and so I think their defense carries that game. So I'm probably looking to bet Denver. It's pick 'em right now. This one opened up Baltimore -1. I would say get the pick 'em right now because I wouldn't be shocked if Denver's a small favorite -1 when this game kicks off, just because we all know about the Lamar Jackson injuries. For I think it's back injury. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm looking to bet the Denver Broncos on that one. But if you have any questions, feel free to chime on in. Again, this is Raphael Esparza, another episode of Ask a Bookie. Feel free to chime on in if you want to know what games I'm leaning towards. If you have some plays and you want, if you think some of the numbers might move, I can give you some a little bit of advice if they're gonna move, if they're not gonna move, what I'm hearing around the book. So feel free to chime on in. Again, this is Raphael Esparza over at Doc Sports YouTube channel. Again, feel free to chime on in with another great episode of Ask a Bookie. Next one will be Monday, Ask a Bookie show, another Monday Night Football show. We had a great Monday show, had some really, really good questions that chimed on in. So feel free to ask away, ask some good questions on, and I will try to help you out and try to help you guys cash some tickets. But let's get going. Pittsburgh, Green Bay. Man, this Big Ben looked really, really bad. For the Pittsburgh Steelers. He looks old. He can't move around in the pocket. His arm it looks as bad as Drew Brees and Peyton Manning's arm did before they hung him up. I thought Pittsburgh could be a wild card contender, maybe even a division contender. But boy, I have been dead wrong. I think Green Bay lights them up. I like the way the Packers defense has been playing as of late. We all know Aaron Rodgers can score touchdowns pretty quickly. I would not be shocked if Green Bay puts a big win against Pittsburgh on this one. It's just sad to see Big Ben running around for his life and how slow he looks in the pocket. So I think Green Bay Packers. And then let's face it, Monday Night Football is going to be a fantastic game between the Las Vegas Raiders, see if they stay perfect against the Chargers. Let's face it, the Chargers got one away. They should have beat Dallas a couple weeks ago, so they could have easily been perfect in this game. So that one's opened up around 3.5 pretty much all week long, and then it's dropped down to 3. There's a couple 3.5s. I saw DraftKings, I think, had 3.5. Some global books have 3.5, but pretty much most of Vegas has 3, and most books have most global books have 3. Some of Vegas books has 3 -120. So make sure you check your juice line if you're showing 3 on the Monday night game. That one will probably change in Monday night. I don't think the number will get off 3. I think it's going to stay at 3 by kickoff on Monday night, but then, except for some odd reason. Big abundance amount of money comes in on the Los Angeles Chargers, but I think this will stay at 3 by kickoff, so you don't have to wait for any big line movement. I don't see any big line. Even in the total, I think the total will probably stay anywhere between 51.5 and 52. I don't see that much money jumping in on the total as we've seen in other big TV games. So let's jump into some college football. Again, this is Raphael Esparza from DocSports.com. Make sure you subscribe to us over on our YouTube channel at Doc Sports. Make sure you watch all those great free videos. We have some fantastic videos out there for some free plays. Vernon Croy does some really good work on a lot of football free plays. Scott Spreitzer does a lot of early ones since he's a night owl. Don't forget about Tony George, Indian Cowboy. So again, don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel over at Doc Sports. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like our videos, and make sure you put a comment on our videos. If you have any questions, I'm sure every handicapper over at Doc Sports will help try to answer all your questions on our videos. So again, make sure you put a comment on there as well. So there's some fantastic content over there. What's everyone's favorite football game on college on Saturdays, boy? There's some great games on college football. I know someone asked me over on my, I think on YouTube, one of my comments, why is Florida State favored against Syracuse? I can't believe they are. Probably, if Florida State loses this game, I will put odds on who Florida State's next head coach will be. I've been working on them. I almost released them on Wednesday, but I'm going to wait to see if they lose against Syracuse. If they lose at home against Syracuse, then I will put some odds who's going to be the next Florida State head coach. It could be Deion Sanders. It has been rumors that he may go over to USC and coach them. I think the head coach over at the Chancellor's, Coastal Carolina, he's going to be out there. I think the defensive lineman, defensive coach over at Georgia is going to be a big one. And, of course, Matt Campbell. But it's going to be very interesting. But I don't understand why Syracuse is favored against Florida State. Completely do not understand at all. And this number opened up Florida State at 4, and now it's 5.5, pretty much 5.5 in all books, except South Point in Las Vegas. They're the only one that has 5. Everyone else has 5.5. So I'm completely confused on why this one. I have no action on this one because I think it looks like everyone always asks me, is there trap games? This one screams to me trap game because I just don't understand why Florida State is the favorite in this. I think I made Florida State like a 1-point favorite on my numbers, maybe a 2. I don't have it in front of me. Let me check. I made Florida State a 1-point favorite and a big question mark in front of it. So I wasn't even comfortable making a 1-point favorite with Florida State. So that one's interesting. Duke, North Carolina, the next bet number should be a fantastic game. We should see a lot of points scored with Duke and North Carolina. Total opened up at 69.5. Now it's 72. There's some 72.5s out there. So I think we're going to see a lot of points going in. When Duke can put some points on the board, and we all know North Carolina can light the scoreboard up on offense. So I think that one could easily fly over. It's an early game, so I would not be shocked if that one goes up to 73. I don't think we'll see 73.5 or 74 on that total, just because it opened up at 69.5. But we should see a lot of points scored on that game. No opinion on Tulane, ECU. I think Tulane wins that game. Would not be shocked. Boston College, Clemson. That's a great matchup. It's a 7:30 game. We all know Clemson lost to NC State last week, and now they have to play a really tough Boston College team. Let's face it, Boston College can go in there and win that game. And I don't think anyone's afraid of Clemson anymore. Boston College comes in there perfect 4-0, and they're 3-1. I think they're 3-1 against the spread in their first 4 games. If they can run the ball and keep Clemson's defense on the field, I think they'll be tired out in the second half. And I would not be shocked if BC keeps this game very close. And Clemson just reminds me of, boy, how good was Trevor Lawrence as a college football quarterback? I know they had some NTN at running back. I know their defense was really good those 4 years, but boy, this team does not look like they're a good team at all. Big Buck, thanks for joining on in. Big Buick. I'm sorry, not Big Buick. Thanks for chiming in. Thoughts on Texas TCU? I originally had Texas circled as one of the games I wanted to play in this game. And I made this number 3.5, 4. So when odds makers posted up 4.5, I really thought there was no value. I think Texas wins this game. I was wishing there would be a late afternoon game to see if there was any line movement by kickoff time. Maybe some Horned Frog money would come in and this number would move to 3.5. I'm leaning towards Texas on this one. I know TCU's are ready for this game. I'm just not sold. If this is an offensive battle, I don't think TCU can go toe-to-toe with Texas's offense. So that's what I'm looking for to see if there's any line movement on this. My original thoughts was Texas on this one. The odds makers posted pretty much the same number as I made it. Yeah, same number as I made it. So I originally thought there was no value on this game. I think the best team in this game is Texas. But they put up 70 points against Texas Tech. I just really like the way their offense is clicking. I know they put the big goose egg on Rice, and I'm not saying Rice and TCU are the same teams, but I just don't like the way, especially in the second half, that TCU played against Southern Miss or I'm sorry, not Southern Miss, SMU on their last game. So my gut is telling me take Texas. I'm waiting to see if I can get any line movement. I don't want to take 4, and I really don't want to take 3.5. So I'd be shocked if this goes to 3 if more that much money comes in on TCU. If you can get a good maybe Texas money line, I don't know what the money line's out there. Maybe take a look at that. I don't like to take that many. Yeah, it's minus 180, minus 185. Oh, it is a minus 190. So maybe I wouldn't even take a. That's a big money line to put on a road team. But my gut feeling was take Texas on this one if the number was correct. But thanks for the question. Like I said, if this was a 3:30 Eastern Standard Time or a 6 o'clock Eastern Time, we might see a different number on this game. But I think Texas is the right side on this one. So hopefully you cash big, and hopefully you have a great weekend. Big Buick. Thanks for the question. What other ones you want to talk about? I'm not going to pick all the games. Indiana, Penn State. I think it should be a very interesting game. Here's a 7:30 game kickoff. Penn State, could they be one of the best teams in the Big Ten? I'm not sold on Ohio State. We all know Wisconsin and Michigan is a big game on this one. So I think maybe we'll have one team that's maybe flexing their muscles in the Big Ten after this week is all said and done. Let's say if Wisconsin upsets Michigan, I shouldn't say upset, they're a favorite at home, but let's say if they beat Michigan at home and then Penn State wins, are they the best team in the Big Ten with Ohio State already losing that one big game at the shoe against Oregon? So I think Indiana keeps this game close in the first half, but I think in the second half, Penn State just rolls. Their defense is just really good. I think Indiana's offense is going to be a hard to score on them. What's another good matchup game? Ohio State Rutgers. I think this is just too high. I mean, no Ohio State quarterback in this game. I just think the numbers a tad too high on this one. I like Rutgers defense. I think they keep this game close. So this one's going to be, I don't want to say a nail biter. I think Ohio State wins maybe by 10 points, maybe by 2 touchdowns, but that's a big number for an Ohio State team that has, I believe, struggled all season long. So I'll take the plus points on that one. And I think this one continues to climb. If you like Rutgers, or climb down. If you like Rutgers, I say hurry up and grab it. When the public is all over in it, opened up at 15.5. There's some 14s out there. DraftKings and FanDuel both have 14. Most other Vegas books have 15. Most global books have anywhere between 15 and 14.5. So I see this one continuing to drop. I don't see any more money coming in on the Buckeyes, and it goes back up. So if you like Rutgers, I say grab it now. If you like Ohio State on the road, wait to see if you can get a 14 or less. I don't think we see 13.5, but why would you take Ohio State at minus 15 when maybe by close to kickoff you can get them by 14? So make sure you get that the best number you can get on that one. So it should be a fun game to watch. Nevada, Boise State, it should be a fun game to watch. A lot of money came in on Nevada early when this line posted up. It was around 6.5. Boise State's now a -5 favorite. We all know Nevada's QB strong, can have a big game. So I'm looking to watch this game at 3:30. Should be a fun game to watch. I was leaning towards taking Nevada, but I missed a good number. So here's the one I'm looking at to maybe see if I can jump on Nevada if it climbs up. There's only 1 5.5. This game's interesting. Only 1 5.5 out there. It's a global book. A little bit shocked that they have 5.5. And there's 1 4.5 that's out there on a global book. Everyone else pretty much has 5. So I don't know. Maybe if they're in trade, if they got bombarded with on money, that's why that big line movement compared to everyone else between 5 and 5.5. So that one kind of interests me on the line movement on that one. Cincinnati, Notre Dame. Here's a interesting matchup. We've heard all week, if Cincinnati wins, will they run the table? Can they get in on? Can they get into the Final Four? Remember a couple years ago when Cincinnati was the same team? They had a really good defense. Their offense was able to run the ball, and they're like, they could be the best team in the state of Ohio. And then they went to the shoe in Ohio State, waxed them, beat them bad. It kind of reminds me of that. I know Notre Dame has not looked the same like we've seen in past years, but they looked much better against Wisconsin. Their offense looked much better. So I would not be shocked if Notre Dame wins this game. Cincinnati, road favorite, -2 on this one. I made Notre Dame -1 favorite on this one. So I would not be shocked if the Fighting Irish win this game at home. Again, at home. against Cincinnati. So I'm looking for that one. Should be a very interesting game. Again, this is Raphael Esparza presenting you Ask a Bookie over at the Doc Sports YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Doc YouTube channel. You can watch all our videos, including my free play video today. It should be, hopefully, I was looking to pay Utah State if the number moved to 10. It's dropping as we speak, so I would not take it. Oh, look at DraftKings just moved it to 8.5 as we were talking. So I think there's no value on Utah State with 9 or 8.5. So that was my YouTube free play for you guys today. Utah State. I still think they keep this game close. They're at home in Logan, but the number has been dwindled away pretty much all afternoon. That was my free play on that one. My other, I'll give you guys another free play on this one. It's a late game. Yeah, I'll give you guys another free play. UCLA -3 at home against Arizona State. It's the late game. It's the second to late game. Fresno State and Hawaii is the late game. But my free play for you guys on this video who are watching before I log off is the UCLA Bruins against Arizona State. I think we see a lot of points scored in this one, and I just like the way UCLA will play this game at home. Both they're 3-1 against the spread. They've played they lost one game at home to Fresno State, which might not be a bad loss when all said and done with Fresno State. And they bounced back after that Fresno State home loss. They beat Stanford at Stanford last week, 35-24. We had the over in that place, so I got to cash that one. I really like the way they played LSU at home when they beat them 38-27. So I think they bounce back from that last home loss, and I think they beat Arizona State. I know Arizona State only road loss was BYU. They look good against Colorado. Of course, they look good against UNLV, but who doesn't? So I'll put you on there. I'll give you that one. But so we'll see if UCLA could squeak one out. Kevin, what's going on, Ray? If you struggled last week with Pats and 49ers, how's the card looking for you this week? Not this week, Kevin. I've been struggling pretty much all football season. I'm starting to cash some tickets in college football. But the NFL has not been kind to me, Kevin. It's looking good. We have one play on Sunday and one play on Monday. So that's my card looking on that one. So hopefully we can bounce back in the NFL. Last year I started off ice cold, like I said, and bounced back and had a winning football season, especially had a crushed in the college bowl season. Hopefully we're going to repeat ourselves because so far football has not been kind. I wish baseball wasn't ending because we're crushing it in baseball right now. I think we're up almost $6,000 for the year. But it is what it is. I mean, once I put my plays in, Kevin, it's out of my hands. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. I had a winning football season last year. I think I have back-to-back winning football season. So it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. I'm not going to say I'm going to go perfect this week, 5-0, buy my 7-unit play, buy my 6, whatever. And stuff like that. Once we submit our plays in, it is what it is. But I like the card this week. I really like the NFL card that I released. And I like the 3 plays I have in college football. All my 3 plays in college football are late games as well. I don't know, maybe because I'm West Coast time zone. Maybe that's why I picked all my games in the West Coast. But I really, really like my football card this week, my 5 plays. Hopefully we can have back-to-back winning college football Saturdays and hopefully bounce back and cash our NFL plays. So, Kevin, I apologize for struggling last week, but we're going to crush it this week. And hopefully we're going to have a really, really, really good football weekend. Thoughts on Panthers, Cowboys as well. I really liked the Panthers when they were at +4.5. I was hoping to get a 5 when the number came up. I just like the Panthers in this matchup. Dallas coming off a short week. Carolina could win this game or at least just cover this game because of their defense. I know they lost a big piece last week on defense, but this Panthers front line, defensive line is no joke. It's really well, and I don't think Dallas will be able to run the ball on Carolina's defense. And I know everyone said, what about McCaffrey? He's not playing for Carolina. He never plays for Carolina. So it's not like this is the first game that they ever played without McCaffrey. So I think the number should be interesting. It's going to be very interesting what the public does on Saturday on this one. If this continues to drop, then I don't blame people jumping on Dallas. If you can get 3.5, then I don't blame people. But if this continues to come up, I mean, my original gut feeling when this one opened up at 5 was to take Carolina because it's a short week for Dallas. Carolina's defense has been really, really good. So that's why I think the Panthers are the play on that one as well. Jets, Titans. Oof. Jets Titans is tough. I mean, Jets are really, really bad. This one's opened up at 6, but it's starting to move to 6.5. So if you like Tennessee, I say hurry up and grab the 6, because I would not be shocked if 6.5 and 7 will be out there on Sunday before kickoff. So if you like Tennessee, I say take the 6 now. If you like the Jets, wait to see if you can get +7 on kickoff. So I don't have an opinion on this one. I lean towards the under when the number came up like around 47, but now it's 44, 44.5. I don't think there's any value left on the total. But like I said, if you like Tennessee, I would say grab it now. If you like the Jets, Kevin, I say wait, because I would not be shocked if this one goes to 7 by kickoff. So hopefully you have a great weekend, Kevin. Cash big. Again, it's Raphael Esparza with another episode of Ask a Bookie, the weekend show. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hope you guys cash big tickets this weekend. It should be a fun weekend, a lot of profit that can be made out there in college football and in the NFL. Don't forget baseball season. Don't forget the playoff start next week. Chad, what's going on? Any thoughts on Seattle versus LA tonight and or Iowa, Maryland? Seattle, LA, I've been high on Seattle. I've been high on betting their totals as well. We've been cashing some really good tickets on the over. I think this one goes under tonight on Seattle, but how can you not like the Mariners? They're just playing some really, really good baseball. No one really talks about them because of the West Coast. Everyone wants to talk about Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, but don't sleep on Seattle. Seattle. I'm a little bit shocked that this number is coming down. Overnight was -185. Now the now the money line's 155 between 160. There's a couple 170. So if your book is showing 170, I highly recommend no betting it because I think it will come down later in the day. It's a late game, but I like Seattle and this one. Like I said, my original gut feeling was taking the under, but it was 8. Now it's pretty much 7.5. But I think the Mariners continue to play some really, really good baseball. And I'm hoping they make the playoffs in this one because I really am tired of listening to Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays. We've already seen Tampa Bay is going to be in the playoffs, so I'm hoping Seattle squeaks on in. Iowa, Maryland, if you just chimed on in, I was looking to bet the under on that game. No opinion on the side. I wanted to see how high, maybe taking a home dog, but I think there's no value on that one. I'm a little bit shocked. I'm waiting to see if I can get 48 on that total, Chad. If I could get 48 on a total, I might have to take a stab, maybe take a small change on the under because I think Iowa will be able to control the tempo of the game. So I'm waiting to see how high the total goes on that one because I'm leaning towards taking the under. Thanks for the question, Chad. You have a fantastic weekend, and hopefully you cash some big tickets as well this weekend. Again, this is Raphael Esparza at the Doc Sports YouTube channel for another episode of Ask a Bookie. It's the weekend show. Again, we do videos Mondays and Fridays on Ask a Bookie on the live YouTube show. We ask questions. You guys fire away questions. We'll try to answer as much as possible without giving away the insides and outs. And then when NHL, college basketball, NBA all ramp up, I will be doing a Wednesday show as well. So when basketball, NHL start rolling, we'll do a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday show. Don't forget, Monday's show is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because I do some media hits on Monday, and then Friday show is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you guys all have a fantastic weekend. Chad, Kevin, Big Buick, Sandeep, everyone that's been watching, have a great weekend. Cash big. Hopefully you guys stay safe, stay healthy. And again, as you know what I always like to say after I end all my videos, have a safe weekend. And again, please don't bet what you don't have. Deuces out. Cash big this weekend, guys.